accept that fact. But I'm gonna, now that we've talked past the racism, in addition to that Iowa case, the lawyer is actually, he's even more determined, the civil rights lawyer is even more determined to win the case after Iowa denied a $20 million settlement offer. So there's that. But some actual good news. UCF quarterback Mackenzie Milton, he actually dislocated his kneecap and like tore a vein in his leg and almost lost his leg and died a couple of years ago. Like, just, yeah, fucked his leg up. Horrible. He is making a comeback. There's some practice footage of him throwing. He looks pretty decent, and he said that his motivation was Alex Smith. And I'll be damned. Salute to Alex Smith.
Word.
And Mackenzie Milton. No longer the noodle arm club, they are the strong leg club.
That's just move on.
Yeah.
Just move on. Boo.
I thought I had something. Right. Hey man, whatever. I can't even.
You got 5 more bullet points. Come on. We got like 2 games. Hurry up.
Oh my goodness. So Kansas running back Pooka Williams, star running back for the Kansas Jayhawks, he opted out for the rest of the season to be close with his ailing mother in Louisiana, where he's from. Now, Big Ten, more COVID news, which is interesting. He didn't mention Purdue, but what do you know? Purdue head coach Jeff Brohm has COVID-19, but he's still going to retroactively coach through, I guess it's his brother, Brian Brohm, former Louisville quarterback.
Wasn't he with the Packers, too?
Yeah, that 1 year in Madden where he had like really great throw power and accuracy.
He was like a great backup for no reason.
Yeah, like that 1 year in Madden where he had like 91 throw power, 90.
Brian Brown. I was like, why?
Yeah, like why is? Because he was on that team where Louisville, they thought they were going to win the national title.
Yeah, my cousin picked him to the Cos.
Yeah,
win the Liberty Bowl, get the MVP.
Wait, your cousin?
Yeah, wasn't that game?
Andy Avalos.
In the Liberty Bowl, yeah, where it was Louisville and Boise State, and he threw a pick.
Oh, I don't remember.
Pretty sure that was it.
Probably was. I remember when like Chris Johnson just destroyed Boise, and then like that's how he became a first round running back because he just shitted on Boise State's defense. He just ran away from people. I remember that. But yeah, they did beat Louisville. But it was before that. It was like when they had Michael Bush, Mario Iruta, Harry Douglas.
Continue.
Yeah. Anyway. So, so his brother, or I guess his brother, he's going to be the acting head coach, but really, like, Brian Brown's still going to be making all the calls from afar, even though he has COVID. Nick Saban, by the way, got tested like 5 times, and then was allowed to coach. Like, they really pretty much made the rule for him because nobody else would have been able to do that under the current protocols. He got tested 5 times. He had 5 negative tests, so they let him. Like, they rushed him in like a 3-day span after 5 tests to coach the game, and then Alabama proceeded to beat the dog shit out of Georgia. I mean, it was close most of the time, but then they pulled away. But, yeah, Alabama bitch slapped them 41-24. So, in the Pac-12, they released their game cancellation policy.
I'm sorry, I misspoke. You were right. The quarterback of that Louisville team was Stephen LaFleur.
Yeah, who actually was deaf.
I didn't know that.
Actually deaf. He played for the Carolina Panthers too.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's like a 75. But yeah, so Pac-12 released their game cancellation policy, updated tiebreakers for the 2020 football season, and they ironically have to have at least 7 offensive linemen, 1 quarterback. So they have stronger policies than the NFL does, the Pac-12. So yeah, there's that. And, Florida head coach. Remember I said Florida was going to Florida everybody. Now, this man wanted, now that all stadiums can be fully open, yeah, you got to pick a better Florida soundtrack. I need you to, like, dig deep. Get a Flow Rider.
That is deep, bro. You going to play Flow Rider over Trick? Stop, bro. You really just said you're going to play Flow Rider over Trick Daddy.
I'm being facetious.
Fuck out of here, bro.
I'm being facetious. Do you know what facetious means?
Continue.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so Florida head coach Dan Mullen, who wanted a full stadium for that canceled LSU Florida game. He has COVID-19. Yeah. On other sick, disgusting shit, and when you're talking about Clemson being pretty much the head and shoulders the best team of everybody else, Clemson beat Georgia Tech 73-7. And why was it so bad? It was the most points scored on Georgia Tech since Clemson beat them like in the 20s or 30s, like 73-0. But here's the kicker. Clemson's punter, who's technically a kicker but not a kicker, because some kickers are punters, but not all punters are kickers. So, yeah, their punter, they were beating Georgia Tech so badly that the punter for Clemson had to come in and play quarterback. And he had, like, more passing yards than Georgia Tech did. Wow. Like, the punter for Clemson was shredding Georgia Tech's defense, which was actually trying. They lost 73-7 to Clemson. Okay, so this is for Pete. Fourth-ranked Notre Dame was in just a slugfest. I mean, down to the wire. I mean, since you kept bringing up Louisville, the fourth-ranked team in the country, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, held on for a barn burner of a victory, beating the Louisville Cardinals, who got packed out by the Miami Hurricanes. Notre Dame beat Louisville 12-7.
Any more exciting?
No. I just want y'all to hear this. For all you Notre Dame fans out there, Clemson packed like 3 trash teams beat Louisville. I think Louisville lost to Pitt or some shit. Either way, Louisville lost to a bunch of teams this year, but the fourth-ranked team in the country, Notre Dame, beat Louisville 12-7. Just want to keep that in mind. 12-7. Remember that. Fifth-ranked North Carolina choked and pulled a Clemson from 10 years ago by losing to Florida State, 31-28. North Carolina came back in the second half, but it was like at one point like damn near 28-0. It was bad. Yeah. And that's pretty much it for college football.
Wow, that's it? That's all? You sure?
That's it. I hope you personally get sued for that one.
All right, with that, we move to, is it touchdown or turnover or take or tangent?
Take or tangent.
If you can find it.
Whichever one fits.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Eric?
All right. Number 1, teams undefeated, 5-0 Steelers versus Titans. However, Steelers linebacker Devin Bush tore his ACL. Take your tangent.
Here's my take. Taylor Lewan, the left tackle for the Tennessee Titans, tore his ACL. So I guess it's kind of a push. Because their starting left tackle tore his ACL. The Pittsburgh Steelers starting middle linebacker tore his ACL.
A lot of people are calling this the matchup of the week.
The COVID Bowl?
Like, a lot of people are saying these are 2 of the best teams. It could be a preview of the AFC title game.
Shout out to Juju Smith-Schuster being a number 2 receiver. And, like, us all just, like, accepting it. Y'all owe Antonio Brown and Ice an apology.
Is it a Sunday night game?
No, it's during the day. I think it's one of the early
God,
games.
it's one of those slow riser, slow burn, 10 a.m., 11
I think that's
10:30 a.m. games.
Yeah.
10-15. Bro, that extra 15 minutes is life. I'm sorry.
Nah, bro. Not when it's the Steelers and Titans where it's just smash mouth football and it's just a pounding.
This should be a good game. They're both high powered, got pretty decent defenses. Well, I mean, Steelers have the better defense in my opinion, but
yeah. But Derrick Henry's a freak of nature.
That is just, he's insane.
And the Raiders passed on him.
All right, next.
Raiders passed on him.
Cowboys players trashed the coaching staff after Cardinals whooped their ass.
I mean, we already kind of talked about that one, but hopefully they can get their shit together, but I'm not very optimistic. Just because this was already kind of the narrative around McCarthy towards the end of Green Bay. But the fact that this is surfacing at the start and you have a veteran. Well, they have a good mix of both veteran and young guys. So I don't know. There's something there. There's something in the water. There's too much going on there in that team right now.
Yeah, probably COVID.
Yeah, it probably starts at the top, too. Shout out to Jerry.
Speaking of Jerry Jones, Kyler Murray is 7-0 in Jerryland. Take your tangent.
Oh, yeah. Kenny, go ahead.
Yeah, so Kyler Murray has never lost. Like, unlike LeVar Ball. I like LeVar Ball. Kyler Murray has never lost in Jerry Jones' stadium. He went like 3-0 in high school championships in Texas. Then he went undefeated at Oklahoma. And then he's never lost to the Cowboys in that stadium. He is 7-0 all time in the house that Jerry Jones built. Damn. If I would have told you a black quarterback that plays for a Texas football team is undefeated in the Dallas Cowboys stadium, I definitely would have picked Dak Prescott because the Cowboys suck. But I wouldn't have picked Kyler Murray either because that's just crazy. Like, the odds. See, now that was a well-timed drop.
Let's just trade Zeke. Trade him to the Cardinals.
Are you a closet Cowboys fan?
Trade him to the Cardinals.
Wow. Nah, Chase Edmonds and Drake. Trade him to the Raiders. Shit.
Nah, I'm good.
No, I'm good.
How long is Dak supposed to be out for?
The year.
At least a year.
Oof.
Compound fracture, dislocation. Thankfully, no serious nerve damage, but it's going to take the whole at least year and 6 months to learn how to walk again and do physical therapy.
And he's going to come back after that?
Hopefully. Nerve damage always plays a part, especially when it comes to a compound fracture. Like, that's... His ankle was bent in another direction. That shit's not normal.
Last one.
Fitzmagic. Ryan Fitzpatrick says getting benched over Tua was heartbreaking. Take your tangent.
Oh, let me do this one.
I'm going to go with what Bart Scott said earlier today. You can't feel sorry for that, man. Like, yeah, it's an awkward situation. You know, what place do you get fired, essentially, and then you have to show up the next day and work for the boss that fired you, and, oh, yeah, sit 4 hours in a room with the guy who replaced you. I mean, I get that.
College newspapers.
But then you look at his, like, I think he's made like $70 million over his career, and the fact that he's been across 14 different organizations, like, don't feel bad for Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's lived a good life.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of lame because it's like you were hyping up to us. Like, bro, you were never a franchise QB.
You were always a stopgap. You're a franchise stopgap. Sorry, bro.
You're the side, you're the side piece.
You're not Tyrod.
Side piece.
Who's
medically cleared to play.
He was playing good, man. I mean, but it's Fitzmagic. It only lasts for so long, and I think that's what everybody really knows. It's like, all right, you're playing lights out for these 2-3 games. I think that's the 2 or 3 games we're going to get out of you. But I mean, it sucks. A guy that's playing that good to go out like that, but at the same time, he knew he was going to be like that. So,
well, they just said the timing is weird because Miami's still in the run for the playoffs, but. That's why you have coaches. Like, they see this guy Tua every day. If they think he gives them something Ryan doesn't, it's ultimately going to come down to them.
Yeah.
The locker room's going to hold them accountable if it flops.
Dez Bryant to sign on Ravens practice squad.
I'm going to say it's a touchdown. Nobody. Because, look, man, Dez Bryant, I know he got hurt last year, but before that, he kind of got phased out. He kind of got a raw deal. And, we've talked about it before. The situation with his mom, the situation with the draft. He's talked about the Cowboys organization. Point is, Dez has been through a lot, but he's still a contributor. He might not be an elite guy anymore. And honestly, he was probably only like a top 5 receiver at his prime. Even though people want to talk like he was 1, 2, but really he was always behind AB and Julio and probably even Odell for like 2 seasons. So, I mean,